Transport Minister Sindisiwe Chikunga has announced the Covid-19 relief fund for the taxi industry in Boksburg on the East Rand. The 708 million rand allocation will see operators with operating licenses receiving 7,200 rands for each minibus. Newzroom Afrika's Madlala reports.
The taxi industry will soon get the remainder of the Covid-19 relief funding. Transport Minister Sindisiwe Chikunga announced the 708 million rand allocated for the sector in Boksburg in Ekurhuleni. While delivering a keynote speech, the minister hailed the taxi industry as a backbone and front runners in South Africa's transport industry. The sector transports more than 70% of commuters daily.
The government gave us 1.13 billion rand. We're able to spend just about 400 million rand. And therefore, we have a balance of 708 million rand. And that is the money that we want to disperse to the industry. And we did the calculation on the basis of the number of operating licenses that we have in our system. And we then came to the amount of 7,000 rand per taxi, but also looking 7,200 rand per taxi or per operating license.
The news was well received, but not before the little confrontation that saw the program briefly stopped.
So there has been a host of challenges that the minister should have taken into account when looking at this matter. But let me also say that the 1.135 billion was not a well-informed figure, in that not all taxi operators were taken into account, one. Secondly, the actual losses that were incurred during the lockdown period by far surpasses the mega 7,200 rands.
The taxi industry has a concern.
Obviously, there were provinces that were privy to get this money. Your Free State province, there was a problem in terms of the operating license. And for the minister, we really appreciate her efforts to make sure that this fund is accessible again.
Chikunga agrees the industry still has a lot of room for improvement.
We are aware of one of them is the issue of subsidization of the taxi industry, which we already have a draft national subsidy policy that is out there for consultation, that we have said to the industry, please participate, because this is the opportunity that once and for all will address that problem. And we explained to them that the reason why for now we've not been able to subsidize the taxi industry because the policy that we have is actually focusing on the service provider than the user.
The criteria to qualify requires that you be a South African, have an operating license or a receipt that you have applied for an operating license. Gauteng Transport is going to assist with applying.
And we will put measures in place to make sure that all our taxi operators in the province benefit accordingly. One of the things that we have just said to the agent is that we will be ready tomorrow to meet up with them as the agent that will be assisting in distributing the fund, because already we have a meeting with the Premier and the taxi industry in Gauteng.
The minister also discouraged those who may think the move was to score brownie points before the elections. For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405, I am Nqobile Madlala in Boksburg.